So how can we parent better? And I want to bring it to the intimacy discussion because we didn't get better, and it's because our parents didn't get better. So they gave us what they had.
In terms of intimacy, do speak to your children about it because, guys, it's very important. You need to talk to them about it. Don't, be open, be an open book. My mom recently only started being open with me, but it helps, but it's at what cost because I've already went through so much. This one time I was with a girl and, whatever happened between me and her, it happened. But then after that, the next day I ghosted her.
Welcome to another episode of Bedtime, the podcast. In bed with Theo this evening. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I have a TikToker next to me. I feel like, I should do you identify with that? TikToker, content creator, which one?
None. I'm just creating content, but I don't consider myself as a content creator. I just like to exist without having labels.
Oh, yes. I'm here for it. Mara, I want to talk about that, how the labels tend to now be stripped, but then now we sort of have, our language doesn't flow because you don't want to offend. Do you find that in your spaces when you talk to people, you strictly, if you're a group of people, do you have to ask everyone about pronouns and what can I call you? How does it work? Because then it doesn't flow.
So in regards to that, I haven't been with a lot of people that much, but then I do get people hint to me sometimes. No, I'm they, no, I'm them sometimes, and it's not a big thing in the LGBTQ community, if that's what you're asking about. It's really not an issue, but I do feel like we should respect people for pronouns and just sort of, just have a big, happy family and then just coexist and understand each other.
Yeah, but without knowing, do you just ask? Is one, I don't know. But I'm asking you, facetiously, also because I'm now finding that I get to a space and I'm thinking, I'm naturally a hugger. Should I hug these people or not? Should I ask what is, if I've seen who, okay, this one calls themselves whatever. Should I ask, is that what I call you? Then the initial discussion, it's like a filing order, a file, or okay, when are you understand? I don't know if...
Yeah, I think I get where you're coming from. It's new, so we're all trying to learn and understand. But I don't know, for some people in some sort of approaches, they are okay with you asking. Some, they're not okay. They'll let you know I'm they or I'm them.
At some point
in there. They would, yeah.
Yeah, I'm always coming from a position of not offending, but... I've watched your profile and now I must wonder myself what being a content creator and having millions of eyes at you and some that are crossing borders, crossing language barriers, or whoever is just enjoying all these things that you are serving up. What does that feel like? Do you feel like people have part of you? Does it give something to have the little, I don't know, is it fame? What do you feel about the work that you do? Because I consider it work. You are busy.
I am busy. First of all, I've always wanted to be a content creator or an actor or something in the media space, rather. It feels good, I'm not going to lie, but I'm always told that I'm acting humble in regards to that because I'm a relaxed guy. I don't like the attention, but I also love it at the same time. You get what I'm saying?
I think a lot of people can relate.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's just how I love being here, and I'm just ready to sort of just go the extra mile.
Yeah.
But ups and downs here and there, it's okay. I've seen these people. I've seen them being criticized and all that. So I'm ready for anything. Any good comment, any negative comment, I'm here. I'm always going to show up.
And what is your attitude to the negative ones?
Some people call me nonchalant. I don't really.
They don't factor in. So you entered the space with the awareness that I'm not going to be for everyone.
Yes, I knew what I was doing. Since day one.
No, I must tell you that I'm new in podcasting land or content creative. In some respects, one would call podcasting creating content. Yes. And the thing I'm most nervous about is the being known factor. And the criticism, I think I'm, at an age where I can take it. But for me, it's the getting things wrong.
Yes.
Like I opened, I don't want to offend. And yes, I'm still on a learning journey also about intimacy matters and everything, but I never want to appear like coming from a point of knowing. So that is why I feel like I'm gonna spend many hours in this bed learning. And I know that you've come here with, like something on your heart that you want to teach me, because I come from a very different generation to you. And you have something on your heart about how sometimes being young is being taken as your experience is little.
Yes.
And you want to talk about having the human experience as a person. Yes, my years are fewer than yours, but we are no different.
Yes, I actually have experienced a lot. I'm a 20-year-old, but I've been through so much.
So in experience years, you may be my age. Not quite.
No, not really. But what I'm trying to say is basically, we have people out here, they're young. We have older people that haven't even experienced much. We have older people that aren't even that haven't even dated in their lives before. They don't know much. We're all learning. Even you guys, we're all learning. We're still trying to figure this life thing out, and we're also trying to do the same. I think you guys are just there to sort of guide us on what to do and what not to do. But then in terms of experience, we all have to learn. And from my side, it's been harsh.
Yeah. Tell me about that harsh. Do you find that, I want to say us older, but do you find that people that are older in age are highly critical or not very understanding of, you could say that people that are still on their way, like at your age?
Okay, so growing up, I've always respected older people. At home, no is no, yes is yes, regardless of that. And I'm okay, I've accepted them for who they are and whatnot. But I don't think I would have made it this far without, the discipline. It's there sometimes, but sometimes they do go a little far, you guys do twist a little, and I don't think it's necessary, but it's what parents do, right? So yeah, I think, yeah.
So how can we parent better? And I want to bring it to the intimacy discussion, because we didn't get better, and it's because our parents didn't get better. So they gave us what they had. But now the conversations are open. We are sitting across from each other, and you've got an opportunity to tell me, in my parenting, I should look out for this, or should I ever come across this? Possibly one or two are the best ways to handle it.
Okay, so I want to start off by saying, in terms of intimacy, do speak to your children about it, because, guys, it's very important. You need to talk to them about it. Don't, be open, be an open book. My mom recently only started being open with me, but it helps, but it's at what cost, because I've already went through so much. And then, I don't like saying this, but I grew up, my father has been out of my life for the longest now. In terms of intimacy and stuff like that, I didn't know what to do. Nobody ever talked to me about, I made the wrong decisions to a point where this one time I was with a girl, and, whatever happened between me and her, it happened. But then after that, the next day I ghosted her. I ghosted her for a month because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to feel about it. I didn't have an adult to sit down with me to say, Emuna, solace.
Yeah, there was a lot of processing.
Exactly.
And in that phase, you just couldn't show up.
I couldn't. I was just thinking of the words, what if I have a baby? And I'm so young and whatnot, we think a lot.
Yeah. So the I think the intensity of your experience is what you're saying. It's a place where you needed a friend, and not a friend as in maybe an age mate, but someone.
Someone to talk to, someone to put me right. If you're ever going to come across this, please do look out for this, They're only doing it now, like I said, but I've already been through it, and it doesn't change what happened. I'm sort of, now I'm uptight around women now. I'm really uptight because I don't know how to be. I don't know if I might hurt you, or if I'm just uptight around.
Did you eventually come out of the processing and call her or text her?
I have, but I know, she will never forgive me.
Yeah, because perhaps for her it was a hyper as well experience, and in a way that you guys could have been there for each other, but just the enormity of it, I guess.
Yeah, she basically, And then in regards to women, that part, it's them saying, I value you. You can be one with me. And then when the guy just sort of leaves everything. Yeah, it makes her doubt herself. She overthinks a lot. She asks herself questions like, am I good enough? Did I do anything wrong? Because I didn't talk to her at all. Like, she didn't know what, like, I didn't even tell her how it was and stuff. Like, I was just gone.
Did you like up and leave, or you waited till, okay, we're fine, all right, and then
No, I went to church the next day. I woke up at 5 o'clock. I bathed and went to church. And then, after church, I basically texted her saying, you know what, I have to go to Tavanchu, so please can you just dip? Please don't wait for me. And then she said, I'll wait for you. I'm like, no, you don't have to wait for me, bro. You do not have to wait for me. Please just vibe. And that was the last time I heard from her. I just know.
What in helping us, and I love that you've been so vulnerable at that space, because yes, it was an unfortunate circumstance, right? But sometimes for me, what you are saying is there's so many lessons in that experience. But what would you have loved to have, either from a parent or from somebody else that you speak to them about? What would you love to hear?
Like I said, I just needed someone to talk to. That's all. Like, just set me right. And then I think something I wanted to hear is just that everything is okay. Like, everything happens for a reason, you know. Don't beat yourself up a lot, because I do tend to do that to myself. Like, love yourself more than anyone, because nobody's going to come and, you know, love you more than you love yourself. And it starts there. When you don't love yourself, you can't love someone else if you can't love yourself.
But I guess what I'm hearing from you is that experience for you, you wanted, before it happened, for somebody to have explained, okay, your first time may feel like this, awkward, whatever, or like it's going to be a lot because it's intense, because it's really transformative if you think about it, because you're going from being a human who's never heightened or experienced, the intensity of being, with someone, and now there's no going back to being a human who doesn't know that. Now you do know it. So it is very intense. So you are saying that before our kids get to a point where they do want to explore and whatever, we should have the conversation often and a lot and transparently and gently and all of those things.
And also ensuring that they know the limits, right? Like, teach them about it, but be a parent at the same time. I think you understand what I mean.
Because that's we're always coming from the parent side, safety, right? And then sometimes we do neglect the human side. But I guess our assignment is keeping you alive for the longest amount of time. So you are still having your human experience. But I agree that older people, parents, caregivers can sometimes nullify the human experience of the younger siblings or whatever. I have a few siblings, but they are all closer together because I guess they needed to validate each other, because I was busy being the deputy parent, and I'm honest and transparent with them about things like that, because they needed someone, and then what they got from their big sister is another parent. You understand? True. So I guess in now my experience and talking to you, it's learning more to keep the conversation open.
Because I feel like if you're a good parent, and you just teach your children, to be good people and all that, if they do have siblings, they can sort of also show off that emotion to their siblings and
translate.
Be there for them. But if it starts at the top, basically, if your parents were not there for you, how could you be there for your sibling? I don't really talk to my little brother, and he's at that age. I feel bad. He's at that age where I know he's going to experience stuff like that. He's already starting to go out to parties and whatnot, but because nobody has ever talked to me, I don't know how to go to him and tell him, dude, I think I know what's going on in your life, and just please look out. But he knows I love him with all my heart.
So just knowing that you love him, I think it was never going to be enough, especially if you're talking from the experience you have. There's this thing, and it's also two schools of thought as an older sibling. You should live your life because one, I don't want to how. But they're getting the package you got, and you don't want them to open it because you didn't, what happened to you, sort of, you want to shield them.
Yes.
So did you maybe not think about, okay, how, I don't know how you absorb information. Some people read, some people watch YouTubes, thinking about how to talk to a sibling about XYZ. Have you thought about that?
Well, not much, to be honest with you. I haven't thought about it.
But it's stressing you out, I can tell.
Yeah, it does stress me out because I don't want anything to do with him. I don't want him to go through this. It's cliche. We all say that. We all say, I don't want you to go through this because I went through it. But the question is, what are you doing about that? You know?
And it's a huge responsibility for you too, Theo. I feel like maybe on some smaller you had on yourself, but you did say you had on yourself, and I need you to, also realize that you are also 20, not because I'm saying 20 is something bad or whatever, but you are still learning about what he's learning about. So you're not going to come from a professional experience. So I don't think he wants to hear that, hey, so like low down. I think he just wants to hear that, if batlo bua ke teng ne or that's how they go no tsamile and hole mnat. Okay, did you ukopela le motho? Just think the way you can.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe Renahana is paragraphs and all of those guy. But I think that's a whole new responsibility to yourself.
But I'm sorry. Rite of passage, I don't think you have a choice. And the way things are, like, you just need to accept life for the way it is, I know I do get a little hard on myself. They're not my responsibility. My mom always tells me that, no, go live your life. They're not your responsibility. But how do I feel as an older sibling out there? Just sort of, maybe if you're not from a well-off home and you sort of just living the life and you're just thinking back, my little brothers, nobody's sort of, taking care of them. So you do, as an older brother, you do have to carry that, but also reminding yourself that you need you, like you need your time, you need your space and all that.
I guess with a little bit more time, you'll figure it out. My son's 22 and everybody's new to parenting a fully fledged adult. My husband and I are new to it. We've had to support each other in that because, one of us is more protective. The other one wants to say, okay, maybe not 12, maybe 1, So both of us are teaching each other about those lines. But the biggest thing is what's birthday. And it's good. You must almost come from a non-invasive place as opposed to like maybe now, like if maybe one of the younger ones, they need to clean their room. And I will make them do it. But then now, I don't want to go in the 22-year-old's room because there are parts of things I don't want to see and I want to respect the privacy. So, like, one of the things I'm saying, your mom is thinking about it. Perhaps she's thinking, okay, banally, a big brother as well. Maybe an age-appropriate conversation can be better than me coming from a...
She does. This one time, babe came in late in 2000. Then she literally called me. I was at work. She was like, Buta, because I don't know how to talk to him. Maybe if you talk to him, it would make sense because I talked to him, but nothing happened. So yeah, exactly that.
And how did that experience go, talking to him and saying, I'll say it's so?
I was on a call with him. I asked him how he's doing. I always ask him how he's doing. And then he's reserved. He just say, okay, sorry, Buddha. And then he kept quiet. And then I told him, Ben, I don't like this thing of yours just saying.
Being closed.
Yeah, don't just tell me, okay, what did you do today? Tell me, how are you feeling? Are you looking for something new? Do you want to do something? Talk to me. But then I just think it's the way we were raised. We always just shut down. You're not allowed to say anything because one.
Yes, because my experience is so similar to yours. Because how do you become close where you didn't get that, but you yearn for it? And then now you're doing it wrong the whole time. Yeah. So that experience is heightened and you're feeling self-critical. But again, I think I just want to affirm you to say, for thinking, I'm a firstborn, my life is my life. And then you are at a place where you do care because you want his experience to be more enriched, more, If you don't mind me asking, how old is he?
He's 16 this year.
16, okay, that's still very vulnerable age as well. And I mean, I'll give you something when we're done here, but there are ways to ask questions interesting, And I also learned this from listening podcasts, whatever, because as we began, it's an evolving journey. Yeah. We are always learning, but you can't ask how was your day every day.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You don't care. So now I learned my language is like, okay, who made you smile today? Who did you sit next to? If I know people's names, I was like, oh, what did so-and-so have for lunch today? Is that something you like? Did you guys share? So the questions, they will lead somebody to say, okay, actually, I saw Kamputisa that, you know, or, you know, did you sit at the back of the class today or in the front of the class? Or, you know, there's ways to open up the blockages, because when at least you are 4 years ahead of him, and just a little bit of a thing, just for your own relationship. This is not for you to get him to do the right thing, but it's just he must know that you're interested in his life, because sometimes that's all you need. Somebody just there. I don't have to say big things because I'm just your brother, but I'm here.
I think everyone needs that. Everyone needs that. You know, like you said, you're supposed to approach it in a different way. You can't always be asking, how are you? It gets boring. It gets boring. You're supposed to ask questions like, who did you meet today? Did you find anything interesting today? Do you have anything coming up? You know, but like I said, if you were never given the opportunity to express yourself,
awkward.
it really does get awkward.
Okay, how about, because now I know you're passionate about content creation, how about just calling him with no questions asked, and you are going to tell him, oh, today, this is the video that I have in mind to do, and my plan is this and this. I mean, we could do that, because it's, for me, at least, you're not asking anything of him, but for him to be on the phone. And then, how? Why is it so? Why say it's so? Can you see how that opens up? Because our phone about something from here. Our phone only able to check out because of, from a parentification type of lens. Of only just to you interesting.
But you know what's different? When I'm around him, he's a different person. He doesn't talk, but I can see he loves my energy. He wants to be around me. So I guess I'm there. I'm there more than I think I am, but he just doesn't let me know.
We're sitting here, and he's gonna wonder what my brother's up to, and maybe find you on the socials. What would you like him to know?
Ben, what I'd like you to know today is that you are big, you are bold, you are smart, you are talented, you are the it guy. You can do so much more. Please just get out of that ball that you're in. And just shoot for the stars. I don't want you to eat off of what I'm doing. I want you to also do your own thing, and also just, you know, be yourself on this planet. Take as much space as you can, and always know that I love you.
Was it hard?
It wasn't.
See, and that came from just the heart and you genuinely loving, you know. So on some level, as you are saying that, I'm thinking about your mom, because all of that love and care that you have wasn't going to be there if she wasn't going to be there. And she may not have given the language around intimacy or whatever, but you are 20 today and you have love and care. And for me, she's done her assignment. You know, we can sit from different positions and judge it differently. But for me, that's how I honor the mother, by seeing that the child is full. And you're not full because the latest model. You're not full because you have an iPhone from your parents. You're full because you can exist with love and coexist with other people. And your brother the most, that makes you feel like, you know, connected.
I have purpose, yeah.
You do have more than. Do you have other siblings?
Yes, so my mom adopted my sister. We are the same age. Her name is Nzwaki. And then Ben is the middle child. I take care of him because he's the middle child. He doesn't know where to fall, so I just take care of him. And then my mom adopted Kendrick. So it's me, it's Nzwaki, it's me, it's Ben, Kendrick, and Julie.
That's a woman with a whole lot of love to give.
She does have love. And then Mommy Yamada deep but her divorce, it was because she let someone in. And then it just sort of the lady that we took in, she just sort of, you know,
and that's possibly your mom's load that you witnessed her carry. And you want to now shield and protect her.
Exactly.
Is your relationship better with her now that you've both had experiences that, you know, were so intense, like you spoke about your first time and her going through that? Did that bring you guys closer?
No, I've always been a mama's boy. My mom knows my relationships, but sometimes I do keep my boundaries because she wants to know a lot now. Like, too much, and I'm just like, okay, chill. I'm letting you know. At least I'm talking to you about my life and stuff. She's involved. My mom is involved. Even today, she's part of the reason I'm here. Like my family, I didn't want to say this, but family are going to be there they are permanent. They are permanent, more than friends, because I got called yesterday to be here with you, and thank you so much for having me once again. And I didn't have friends. In my mind, I couldn't think of anyone, but I went straight to my family, and they made sure that I'm here.
Oh, wow.
They did that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so I guess, perhaps your assignment or the responsibility now is, instead of, because you want to create this content, but perhaps somewhere in your future, you've got an assignment to create for your family.
I do a big.
You've got an assignment to create.
I want to take back home.
Not like I'm not talking about astronomical things like buying her a house or whatever, because that's where we usually start to think. But how about the content of re-educating them about other parts of, like now you're saying, Hore, she didn't have the discussion about intimacy and things like that, and you maybe speak to her as an adult about her child. Not Hore would say like your inner stuff and say, when I was younger, this and this and this happened. I wonder, if I've told you about it, and this is what happened. Perhaps with zero expectation. So, because that's the thing for me, we can't know better and not do better. And I'm not telling you to go and do it. And I think I'm saying perhaps one of the things, the content you can create is content tailored to your mom. Yeah. Whether it be a letter or something, that conversation that can open up or say, there are all these other siblings, these beautiful people you've brought into my life. They also need you. They need me differently, but they need us. So could we try and work on some of the things that will help us be better brother, a better mom, or whatever? Because you've nailed the skill of content creation. I'm sure you can do it, and I believe in you.
I will, for sure. I'm taking notes. I'm listening, but I'm taking notes. I'm gonna do it for sure. I'm gonna do it.
And it's coming from a place for me to see that you yearn for the completeness of that, because also relationships that are letting the gap here and there. Because sometimes she's gonna find out something. She's like, "Mara Theo, when some puts one." Do you know how much that hurts?
Yeah, it hurts.
It hurts. And yes, maybe in some way, somebody say she should have known, give her how. But remember that you've got other siblings. She's also got a life. There's the employer. There's whatever. Really, moms.
Going on. Like I said, we're all learning. You're not always going to be there 100% of the time. You're always going to miss that one little thing about that person. But I think parents should, or let me just talk about Gen Z rather. The electronics and all that, guys, it starts there. It starts where you just close yourself in the room, and then you as a parent, you're like, okay, let me not interfere. It's okay. But then that thing, it grows. And as a parent, you have a lot going on, but now it's also like you forgot that you're also someone's parent. It gets to a part where teenagers do stuff. They lose their lives and all that. And as a parent, you'd blame yourself, but also forgetting that you also had a lot going on. It's not an excuse, but what I'm trying to say is we're all human after all. We're all human. And that little thing, don't let it slip. Try to get involved. When they come back from school, ask questions, check up on them. Sometimes just wake them up with a meal. My mom does that a lot, and
that her love language.
I feel valued because they are, like, we're human. Like I said, there are times where you feel you don't feel like yourself, and then that breakfast thing I was saying, it makes you feel good.
And probably when you were younger, you were like, hey, and then now you can appreciate it differently because you see out there that you coexist. One of the things that made me like really aware is that you coexist with people that don't come from homes like that. And then something, and they're like, oh, and you're like, hi, but I would never mean it like that. But because your environment moves on, there's so much love at the base, you guys can talk about certain things in a certain way. And then go bang, they don't have that. And sometimes they get triggered. And sometimes we feel like, okay, maybe I shouldn't or whatever.
Maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe I'm just overwhelming everyone. I did feel like that for a certain time of my life where I felt like I'm just trauma dumping everywhere. Like if someone's gonna ask me how are you, I'm just gonna be like, I'm not okay. And then it's not fair to the next person because I'm always not okay. So definitely what you said, we need to work on that. We need to work on that a lot. We can't just always You can't always be in your bubble. You have to sometimes just get out of there. Just try pulling. Just try pulling. Everyone gets it eventually. Yeah.
And for me, there's also so much strength because you're talking about, the things that you've been to and the traumas here and there, but you're offering millions of us like some form of healing through the work that you do on TikTok, which I have mad respect for, by the way. One, because I know I could never do it, like physically, day after day, often think of new ideas, present them in a short form video. The work ethic it must take, because obviously you don't start with one and that gets millions of followers. You start building and finding your niche and all of those things. And I have respect for you for that, because there's a lot that goes on, So I hope when you do have your moment, your intimate moment in the mirror, you're able to love those parts of you a little bit extra because they are special. Not everybody can do that.
Not everybody can. It's true. It's true. Not everybody can do that.
Yeah,
guys.
I couldn't. Could never be me. I can tell you for free. I would never be.
But
able
why
to.
not though?
I just feel like number one, it is coming from. It's very intense. It's your insights that you're taking out because. How did you think of this? What did you?
Yeah.
And I feel like the creating experience in itself is very unique. So whatever you could do, I could do. But for me, it's the sustenance of day after day or week after week, coming back, because I feel like I hit a streak of brilliance once a year.
Yeah.
That's when I want to create. After more, I want to go back to my cocoon.
Yeah. I get that a lot. I wasn't TikTok famous, but I did get a breakthrough when I started content creation. I created skits and then I saw that my people loved it. And then I stopped because I needed a break. And then I stopped my account on 3K and then I stopped. And then when I tried to get back with the same stuff, it wasn't going. So after that, I just kept on posting until I got it.
That's what I'm telling you about the resilience that you have. And for me, I think you've opened up my mind about the kind of conversations I'm having with my kids. And yeah, I really value that because anything that can improve me and how I do things, for me, it has my heart. And yeah, I hope you continue and you get more breakthroughs. I mean, at only 20, we're talking about obviously a short span of time being an adult, and which is a lot. Even we are still battling with the whole adulthood thing. But I hope you continue to give yourself grace, because you're a brilliant young man, and it's been an honor sitting across from you. I hope you know that.
Thank you so much. I will try.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Okay, where can people support you with Theo? Because maybe some of them are seeing you for the first time on this brand new podcast. So maybe tell them your handles.
Guys, I'm Theoloicious. My full name is Theoloicious. I am Theoloicious across all platforms. Please do put it down below if the editing team will. It's Theoloicious across all platforms, and on YouTube it is Theo Euricus. Euricus is my second name, and you'll find me on there.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
And that's all we have time for on tonight's episode of Bedtime, the podcast. See you again soon.
And it feels so good.